Hi everyone, and welcome back to my kitchen. Today I wanted to share with you guys the best seafood appetizer recipe. I'll be making my favorite crab cakes with homemade tartar sauce. This restaurant quality dish is so easy to put together at home, and it's perfect for holidays, celebrations, and special occasions. We're going to get things started with some fresh crab, and then I love to season it with a little bit of lemon juice, some pepper, some fresh herbs, some spices, and then that homemade tartar sauce is also super easy and it tastes incredible. It's creamy, it's packed with so much flavor, and it's the perfect complement for these crab cakes. Now for the full list of ingredients and instructions, make sure to head on down the video description box and to follow that link over to my website where you can print this recipe off too. Meanwhile, let's get started on this super easy recipe. In a large mixing bowl here, I have 1 pound of fresh shelled crab. I picked up one of those pressurized containers at Costco in the seafood aisle. You can, of course, shell your own crab if you want to steam it and then clean it, but I find this is so much easier and it's perfect for this recipe. It tastes great. Now I am ready to start adding my ingredients. I'm going to add the zest of half a lemon. It's going to really brighten up the crab, give it a little bit of that lemony flavor, a little bit of acidity. And then I'm going to cut this lemon open and add about a tablespoon of fresh lemon juice. Next, I'm going to add in half of a diced red bell pepper. I did a fine dice on these so you don't get like large chunks of pepper in your crab cakes. I'm also going to add in a tablespoon of fresh parsley, tablespoon of fresh dill. I'll need 2 teaspoons of Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons of mayonnaise, a dash of some hot pepper, and today I am using this Tabasco Chipotle hot sauce. I really like this one. I'm going to measure out 2 teaspoons of Worcestershire sauce. This adds a little bit of that spiciness, lots of great flavor. Pour that right in. And we also need 2 large eggs for this recipe. And the eggs are what's going to help bind the crab together with all the other ingredients. Drop those in. I'll season this mixture with half a teaspoon of smoked paprika, half a teaspoon of garlic powder, and 1 teaspoon of salt. Add in some ground black pepper. And then I'll use a spoon to gently but thoroughly toss this all together. I have my crab cake mixture all ready to go. I'm going to be using a 1/4 cup scoop today for these, and just scoop out a little bit of this mixture. And I'm going to drop it onto a tray lined with paper towels first. This is going to help absorb any of that little extra bit of moisture. These are going to be so delicious. I love the aroma of this. You get a little bit of that lemon zest coming through, the fresh herbs, that fresh dill is such a great combination with crab. And I'll typically get 12 crab cakes out of this recipe. Next up, it's time for our breadcrumbs. Today I have 1½ cups of these crumbly panko breadcrumbs. I'm going to grab 1 crab cake at a time. You don't want to compress these too much, just very lightly shape them. And then instead of dropping them into the panko breadcrumbs, I like to sprinkle them, kind of rotate these crab cakes at the same time, and shape them to nice flat little pieces. I'm going to set them onto a tray. I'm shaping up my last crab cake, and then this entire tray with the crab cakes is going to go into the refrigerator. You want to chill these for at least an hour. That way they'll have some time to firm up, and when you fry them, they're going to keep their shape so much better and they're not going to start to fall apart. You can even make these the night before and just keep them refrigerated overnight. These look so good. I can't wait to enjoy them with that sauce. Next up, I'm going to show you how to make the tartar sauce. You can also make the sauce the day before. Just keep it stored in the fridge. I'm going to start with about 3/4 cups of mayonnaise, and I'm going to place that into a little mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to add in a 1/4 cup of dill relish. I do not recommend using a sweet relish for this recipe. And you can also just finely dice a few pickles for this recipe. I diced 1 small shallot. It's about 2 tablespoons of diced shallots. We'll need 1.5 tablespoons of chopped capers, 1 teaspoon of Dijon mustard. I'll sprinkle in 1 tablespoon of fresh dill, and we'll also squeeze in just a little bit of lemon juice, about 1 tablespoon of lemon juice for a little bit of that acidity. A bit of cracked black pepper, and a touch of salt. And I recommend adding salt to taste because some mayonnaises are a little bit more salty than others. And then just give this all a thorough mix, and that's it. Our sauce is ready. You just want to keep it refrigerated and covered while we're waiting for the crab cakes to chill. My crab cakes have cooled for a couple hours, and now I am ready to fry them. I'm heating about 1/4 cup of avocado oil over medium heat. You want to make sure the oil gets really nice and hot before you add the crab cakes, otherwise they're just going to absorb the oil and become quite greasy. I'm going to drop them into the warm oil. You want to give them just a little bit of space in between each crab cake. We're going to fry these for a couple minutes on each side, and you'll want to turn them once the other side gets nice and golden. You'll want to turn the crab cakes very gently with a little spatula. And as my crab cakes finish frying, I'm going to take them out of the pan and onto a tray lined with paper towels just to absorb any of that excess oil. These are smelling incredible. I can't wait to enjoy them with some of that homemade tartar sauce. My first batch of crab cakes is all done. I'm just going to clean up the pan a little bit so I don't have any burnt bits of breadcrumbs or anything else in there. And then we'll fry up the rest of my crab cakes. And I'm going to add a little bit extra oil. And if you do add extra oil, wait for it to heat up. Don't add the crab cakes into the cold oil because they're just going to suck up that oil really quickly, and then you'll get greasy crab cakes. And then for serving the crab cakes, I like to place them onto a tray. And I usually have a separate little ramekin for the sauce so it doesn't go everywhere. You can kind of spoon or dip or anything you'd like so you can enjoy the sauce. Sprinkle some fresh parsley over the top. And I want to give you guys a little close-up of the texture of these crab cakes, so we're going to split one of them open. They're just so flaky. I don't like when my crab cakes are heavy and filled with a million other things. And I find that this is just the perfect recipe. They're so flaky, so tender. I'm gonna grab a little bit of the sauce and then enjoy them with the crab cake. And that's it for my favorite crab cake recipe with homemade tartar sauce. These smell so incredibly delicious. Can't wait to dig in and enjoy. For the full list of ingredients and the instructions, make sure to head on down into that video description box and follow the link over to my website. You're going to find all the information online. All right, let's dig in and enjoy. I just really, really like the texture of these crab cakes too. You're gonna get a little bit of that tartar sauce. All right. These crab cakes are bomb, so incredibly delicious. I forgot to squeeze a little bit more lemon juice over top. I like the freshness that lemon juice adds. Just a touch is all you really need. Grab some of these crab cakes, and this homemade tartar sauce is so creamy. I love the flavor. It's like a true tartar sauce with the relish, the capers, the shallots. It's just so delicious with the crab cakes. Next time you're hosting a dinner or a party, make sure to add these crab cakes to your list. Everybody is just going to love them. They're so easy to make. You can make them ahead of time, just keep them stored in the refrigerator, and then fry them up when you're ready to serve. I'm gonna have more tips on my website, so make sure to check that out. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time with a new recipe.